Welcome back. Ubuciko Bethonga and the Art Cave, in collaboration with the Joburg Theatre, proudly present The State of the National Disaster, a play written and performed by Philangezwi Nxumalo. Now, SONDA offers a contemporary perspective on protest theatre, merging satire, physical comedy, and poignant storytelling. For more insights, I'm now joined by creator and producer Philangezwi Nxumalo. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. So, SONDA, State of National Disaster. It's a provocative one-man show. Talk to us. What is it about? What are you hoping to achieve with it? And what can audiences expect when they come and attend?
So, State of the National Disaster is a... I always say it's a story about South Africans, for South Africans, by South Africans. So we're actually looking at the state of the country. We're looking at unemployment, poverty, a high crime rate, and incompetent public servant. So the story is about South Africans who are waiting for the president to deliver the State of the Nation address. So as they are waiting, and then the media start going around and then asking them questions, what are they expecting on the State of the Nation address by the president. Then they start saying their expectations, and then they start also speaking about the things that they wish the president can speak about, or things that they wish it can change in the country. So yeah, so it follows those characters, and we're using soccer as a way of commenting or narrating the stories.
Oh wow, interesting. Yeah. And it's directed by a female?
Yes, it's directed by a female director, Alia Zamamatintela.
Now, talk to us about the research and development of this play. When you were formulating it and putting together the story and the script, you mentioned earlier to me that you watched a lot of news, and I can imagine how much information you got from there. How much of the grassroots did you get into? You're a KZN boy.
Yes.
Did you go into those communities and find out exactly what it is that they were feeling towards the state? So
I think the idea developed long time ago, but when I started doing it for the first time, it was a class assessment at the Market Lab in 2020, in my second year. So then they gave us a task to do a show, do something which is style you like. So I like protest theater. Okay. And then most of the time, so when I feel like I'm a bit down, I watch Parliament, SONDA,
oh, really?
So to get entertained. Then when I was watching that, I was like, this is actually nice. It feels like these things are scripted. These people, it feels like they're scripted. This can make a nice play. So there's a lot of that in the play as well.
Okay.
So I had to also ask a lot of people. I had conversation with my friends, people that I don't even know, some of them, just to ask them, what do you think, what are you expecting change in the country? What do you think about the state of the country? So yeah, and also because I grew up in the rural area, so some of these things, I know these things. I also grew up, in Mhlabelingana, but I also grew up in Pangeni, which is Ilogish. So I know these people, even the characters that are in the play are people that I've met, are people that I know, So yeah, that was part of the research, but also having conversation with people, South Africans, just to ask them, what do you think about the state of the country? And the things that they told me are most of the things that these characters in the play are talking about.
And from your assessment and the things that they told you, is our country moving in any right direction?
It's 30 years, and for me, I'm a born free. As I was telling you, that I'm a born free. So I don't know what was happening in apartheid. The only thing that I know is what I've been told or what I read about. But looking at that, I feel like we are still in the same era. The only difference is just the name that has changed from apartheid to democracy. But black people are still poor. Black people are still suffering. Black people are still unemployed. Young people are still not being able to go to universities because they can't pay fees. So I don't think we are really moving. Maybe we are, but slowly. But yeah, it's been 30 years, so it's a long time.
So in using this protest theatre, because you said that's your favorite form of theatre, do you believe that young people are responsive to it, or even just theatre in general, for you to be able to use this as a platform to be able to put these issues out? Because I'm assuming you're trying to get a conversation going here.
Yes. Especially young people. I think Abantabasha, they really need to start thinking with this. And when people say the future of this country is in our hands as young people, they are not lying. We are the one who can change the situation. We are the one who can literally change. You see, someone who's 30 years means this person was born in 1994. Right. So that basically means that person was born right before the democracy. So which means that person is the one who can actually give us this democracy that we always are looking for. So the show also speaks on that. The show challenges those kind of things, you know. It also challenges black young people to actually start thinking about the future of the country. So if you're watching the show, you get to start thinking and start making right choices, you know. Yeah, so it's a thought-provoking kind of piece. Yeah.
You are born free, as you mentioned, and
Yes,
you mentioned
yes.
to me
And
before,
everyone is born free also in the team.
on your team.
Yes.
That's very interesting. In that, having all those born frees, are there any opposing views as to how you see the country? Because you may say that what you look at in terms of a new South Africa is pretty much like during the apartheid times, where people were unemployed, black people were living in poverty and squalor. In your team, do you find people who are saying, but it's different for me, I have experienced a different kind of South Africa?
I mean, I think in my team we share the same sentiments, you know. But I've met people who were like, you know, a friend of mine, one of the very friend of mine, I had a conversation with her, and then she was like, I am not going to vote. I'm like, why are you not going to vote? And then she's like, I don't trust anyone, you know. And then, but then there's this other friend of mine who was like, me, I don't know why people are crying, because personally, I went to school because of NSFAS. So I got a free education because NSFAS to other people is a free education. So like I didn't have to pay fees, you know. So as much as some of us might think that things haven't changed, but I think it's also about where you're from, and also privileges are not the same, I guess.
We were speaking earlier on about voting, and you said to me, you'll be voting for the first time,
Yes.
but you shouldn't have been voting for the first time because you were eligible in the previous elections. Just talk to me about that mind shift.
I think most of it was just ignorant, I guess. I was in a space where I felt like I'm not affected politically. So I felt like, why do I have to vote? Politics doesn't affect me, you know. But I think until I got to realize that everyone in the world is affected by politics. You understand? For the fact that I'm here tonight, I had to travel to here. That's political on its own. Yeah. You know, for the fact that Lana, you are working. I'm also here to push what I'm doing on that political on its own. So politics affect everyone. So it is important for everyone to vote, because at the end of the day, as much as it is our right, but also if you want change, you need to be the change.
And this play encourages people to vote smart. What does that entail?
It encourages people to make right choices. So when you watch the show, it doesn't say which political party that you should vote for. Right. It doesn't. The show is not aligned with any political party. The creators also are not aligned with any political party. It just speaks the fact about the state of the country. So when you're watching it, you make a decision that, who should I vote for? Because it literally speaks, and this is not a far-fetched thing. This is Indolezi that South Africans are crying about every day. So every day, South Africans are crying about the very same thing that are in the show. You know, so it's not good to must create a show. No, these are we had conversation with people, and unfortunately, almost everyone is saying the same thing. You know, right. So then we're like, okay. It's really, yeah.
You wrote and launched this 3 years ago. So this is a comeback, and it's coming back just before the elections. I'm assuming this is really to encourage young people to think long and hard about this. Yes. How important is it to use the arts in order to convey messages, especially about our social ills?
It is very important, because I think art is a form of, it's one thing that can unite all of us, you know. So and it's one thing that almost everyone in the world kind of relate with it, you know. You know, when it was COVID, art was the thing that was helping all of us to actually be able to survive. So art is everywhere. Everyone can be able to relate with the art. So we need to use art to really change the world. Yes.
So just give us those dates and where people will be able to watch this?
So this is a special performance, because I've been running the show this year, but then they said bring it back. So the show it's on the 25th of May and the 26th of May. So Saturday and Sunday, Saturday at 6, Sunday at 3 o'clock at the Joburg Theatre space.com. Ticket is 100 Rand. If you're a student, 50 Rand. So it is a very special performance. It's only 2 shows. Then after that, we're going to go straight to Makanda, National Art Festival. We're going to debut in the National Art Festival for the first time.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, good luck for Grahamstown, and good luck for those 2 night shows. And we certainly hope that you will be ramping up a lot more young people, not only just to have conversations, but to also make their mark and go and vote. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.